Wallaroo. Police clocked the 46-year-old from Kadina driving 71 k's over the speed limit. He'll appear in court at a later date. And 2 men and a woman are being treated in hospital after being mauled by 2 dogs in Sydney's west. A police officer was also injured in the attack, which unfolded alongside the Great Western Highway at St Mary's. None of their injuries are life-threatening. Advocates say young people are leading the way in engaging in regular and meaningful conversations about mental health struggles. This year's Are You OK Day is encouraging us to check in with those around us. Clinical psychologist Rachel Harker says ongoing support can make a big difference.
It needs to be more than just one day a year. It needs to be an ongoing commitment. So whether that's reaching out to a friend you haven't heard from for a while, inviting a colleague for coffee, or taking a chance on a new connection, sometimes it's the smallest steps that have the biggest impact.
And NASA has discovered what it says is the clearest sign of life that's ever been found on Mars, contained in a rock sample collected by the Perseverance rover. Mudstones from a dried riverbed were found to contain minerals which usually form from reactions between mud and organic matter. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Explorer Caravan spring stock clearance is on now with incredible deals. Corner of Grand Junction and Prospect Roads.
Well, the Hawks have flown into town with Jack Ginnivan the centre of attention. He got out his phone and filmed the waiting cameras trying to doorstop him, posting it to his Instagram story. He's expected to face a hostile reception from the Crows crowd on Friday night after being fined for giving his middle finger to the crowd during Hawthorn's last game at Adelaide Oval. James Aish has announced his retirement after falling out of favour at Fremantle this season. The 29-year-old finishes up on 186 games, including the 2018 grand final loss with Collingwood. And Postecoglou's vowing to hit the ground running as Nottingham Forest manager. The 60-year-old faces a tough initiation against Arsenal away from home on Saturday. He says his record speaks for itself.
I've kind of worked myself into this position over the last 28 years because, I never put any limits on kind of what I wanted to achieve, and everywhere I've been fortunate to have success, which has allowed me to take the next step.
And Leighton Hewitt will be allowed to captain Australia's Davis Cup team against Belgium this weekend, despite being hit with a suspension. The 44-year-old copped a 2-week ban from the International Tennis Integrity Agency for allegedly pushing an anti-doping volunteer. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
At St Agnes Urgent Sewer Works on Hancock Road near Kennedy Street. Engle Farm, smash on Bridge Road near Maxwell Road. Slow for works at Door Park, Goodwood Road near Grange Road, and getting busy at Hillier for works, Anglevar Road near Stephen Heath Road. Cameras for the drive home, Education Road, Happy Valley, and Gorge Road at Athelston. Support your cardiovascular system health with Blackmore's Omega Triple Super Strength Fish Oil. Available for a great price every day at Chemist Warehouse. Always read the label and follow the directions for use. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
To the weather, partly cloudy, 16 today, more of the same tomorrow, mostly sunny on Saturday, 19, and partly cloudy Sunday, 22. At the moment, 16. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, anger and chaos in the US as a Trump ally is assassinated. SA's Premier meets the King, then the King meets Harry. How a different day in London unfolded. How to get $1,100 in free dental care for your kids. And Hawk star Jack Ginnivan flips the camera on the media as he arrives in Adelaide for the Crows clash. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
Hi, it's Wayne Phillips. We're celebrating. It's Wayne Phillips Ford's 40th anniversary. Come down and see us for a ripper anniversary deal on Ranger, Everest, Mustang, Transit van and more. We have a huge range in stock, ready to drive away, so come in and see us for an unbeatable deal with savings so good you'll have to see them for yourself. We won't be beaten on price. So for the best deal on a new Ford, drop in and see us now at the award-winning Wayne Phillips Ford, celebrating 40 years at Christie's Beach.
Paying for a gym membership means going the first month, sleeping in the next month, voicemails from your personal trainer, taking up cold plunges instead, realising you're more of a good book by the fire type, hot chocolate by the fire type,
Marshmallow.
forgot you even signed up for the gym type. Go from forgotten subscriptions to found savings with the Westpac app's clever tech. To get it done, it takes a little Westpac. Westpac online banking T's and C's, eligibility, fees and charges apply.
Can I have another marshmallow?
Streaming live
via the 5AA Player app, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
Great to have your company on this Thursday afternoon. It is 8 minutes after 3. The live stream is now up and running thanks to Complete Care with a K. And are you in for a treat if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube? Because tomorrow night at the beautiful Her Majesty's Theatre, it is a venue fitting of such an occasion. What a show this will be. We're talking exceptional songs, storytelling, and incredible musicianship. It's part of the Adelaide Guitar Festival, and we welcome back one of the most loved and respected musicians in the country. And he's live in the studio. The great Troy Casadale is here. I'm hoping we plug this microphone in. Lovely to see you, Troy.
I hope it's working for you as well, mate. You seem to be doing a few miracles behind the dash there, so
Lord.
Thank you so much, and great to see you put a face to the name as well. How many times we spoke?
I know, many times.
Crazy.
I'm sorry about the face. It's disappointing live, isn't it?
Not at all.
Isn't it?
Not at all. It's beautiful to be here in Adelaide as well, and it's been really nice coming through this town over the many years, and every time I do the walk and take it in.
God, you're such a good... Do you know, I said this to you off air. As soon as you walked in, I'm a sucker for someone with talent and a guitar, just sitting there. Even just hearing you strum, that guitar sounds so beautiful.
Look, I think it's been connected to me since I did my first guitar lessons at about 10 or 11.
Yep.
And I've never put it down since. It could be a curse or a blessing. You never know what it is, but you can annoy the rest of your family with a guitar.
I have the stupidest question for you to start.
Go for it.
You have 45 golden guitars.
Yes.
6 arias, 4 CMAAs, 3 APRAs and more. Where do you put them? Have you got a trophy room? Have you got a man cave?
Look,
or are they just jammed in drawers and cupboards?
No, well, look, a couple of them are spread around the house. I've got a daughter that's embarking on music at the moment too, and I've left one on top of the piano where she writes songs, and there's an aria, and there's a golden guitar there, and there's something else, like an APRA Song of the Year for myself and Don Walker years ago, and I've always cherished that. And I leave them there for inspiration, and not to make out that she's going to be a country artist, because she doesn't want to be. She's indie folk. But I have a room downstairs where I do a lot of recording of my demos, where I've decided to start caching them in the corner to just be inspired myself. Even when you're 45 golden guitars down the line, you still need to look over your shoulder and remember where you've been. And in that corner is where they're all stacked there and just beautifully presented in this old wood cabinet that I made. And I thought, well, that's the inspiration then to look forward and not only help kids out on the way through. I think that's my job now as an older bloke.
Yes.
But also to be inspired to make another record at some stage.
Well, I had a thought about that because I said Lee Kernighan was on the show a couple of weeks ago. I said the same to Lee. So when you guys are coming through, it would have been Slim. It would have been Joy. It would have been Jimmy Little, Archie Roach, all of these legends.
Yes.
Now that's you. Now that's you and Lee and Casey and all of these, do you feel that? Or I said to Lee, it's a bit like you're a godfather, but these young kids coming through, you're the Slim to them.
Well, I've watched Lee. Lee and I have been mates for a long time. Casey and I, she's like my sister. A lot of the artists that you're mentioning, we all came through at a similar time. Casey's a bit younger than us. But the beautiful part about it is when the kids start coming to you for advice, in my culture they call me uncle, which I don't mind. And I think I wear that badge with pride when people come up and say, Uncle, I need some advice.
Yes.
And I would say, yeah, what can I do to help? And they'll say, well, I don't know how to start writing songs. And I'll start explaining to them about looking into their own family history for interesting stuff, or look into Australia's history. There's stories laying everywhere to be discovered. And you put them on a little bit of a path. I get really proud of being this generation of country artists, and I still love it. And I think that's the beautiful part about our job. It's not like playing footy where by 35, 36, you got to hang up the boots and that's it. I'm 56 and still loving what I do, and I'm still travelling around.
And you've got decades to go.
Oh, look, I'd hope I've got a little bit more to give.
Go.
But I reckon there's more songs to find, Leith.
Well, there are. Help me pronounce the First Nations name.
Yeah, First Nations name. My grandfather was Bunjalung, and my grandmother was Gumbanga. And, two beautiful people who raised me for the first 10 years of my life.
Yes.
And they were formative years, and they taught me a lot of incredible stuff. I think that I was really lucky. So when Mum and Dad split when I was very young, I had a chance to spend a lot of one-on-one time with my grandmother and grandfather. and the things they showed us, the values they taught you, are things I still feel like I've actually handed to my children. My son was over last night because we don't see him very often. My daughter was up from Sydney, and they cooked me dinner. And here they are, spoiling their old man. And I was just about to get up and do the dishes, and my daughter beat me to it. And I thought, I love these old-fashioned values and these kids where they go, no, Dad, we're over here to cook for you because we didn't cook on Father's Day and we want to spoil you.
Bless.
And that I don't know. It's nice when you don't even have to ask kids to pick up after themselves.
So is it a legacy of storytelling? Like, is it a family? Is it a hereditary thing? Where did you get this skill from? Like, obviously you pick up the guitar early, and then the voice is always there. But what about the storytelling aspect to it?
Look, I think the storytelling started even earlier than the guitar. I had grandparents who told great yarns. I had uncles and aunties who were beautiful yarn spinners, and you'd mainly hear it when you were camping around a fire. And they were the times where I took it all in. I must have just sat there and just sponged a lot of the stories that came to me.
Yep.
And then, I take it now to the level of where you can make some music. And in between the gaps, what people will see tomorrow night too is a lot of the storytelling we get to tell is honest storytelling from my family. And I feel very privileged to be able to continue those stories and also bring people along for the ride, Leith.
It's so interesting you say that. So as you know, Casey's my cousin, right?
Is she?
Yeah, so Di Chambers is my dad's first cousin. Our grandparents were brothers. Casey's grandfather, John, my grandfather, Lennon, were brothers. But they grew up similar to yourself. So they were always on the Nullarbor because Bill was a fox shooter and, Di and Nash, and they would do all of that. It's interesting that is an origin story for so many great country singers in this country who have had, many of us didn't get to sit under the stars and sit around a fire and share those stories from generations. And then you think, well, how come people like yourself have got so much talent and others don't? It's like a nature-nurture type of thing.
Well, I've had this conversation with Russell Crowe, actually. Now, Russell's got a place on Goombanga country, right?
Okay.
And he messaged me out of the blue one day and said, I've just discovered this song called Goombanga Skies. Can you explain where this town is called Kangi? I said, well, it's just over the range, just outside of Grafton. You're not that far as the crow flies. And it's funny, and I've also had this conversation with Casey. Russell said to me, he said, it's environment that forms you, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I think you're right. And Casey and I have definitely, when I read Casey's book, I learned a lot more about her than I thought I knew. And I think it gave me a little bit more of an insight into not only her career, but it also gave us ideas into why we doubt ourselves too on our way through, because you're always trying to, make sure you're being the best person you can because you're in the public spotlight and stuff like that. But you are also allowed to be a human being that, is raising kids, who has to, tell kids right from wrong, function in a relationship. It's a tough one.
Because we went to school together, and school was never for her. They were selling the fish out of Southend and Millicent. It was never for them.
No.
Because you could see that her place was at a campfire on the Nullarbor under the stars. I listen to your music, and your music is so beautifully poetic and storytelling that, again, you're not just thinking of what word rhymes with this just to get that line through. It's far more important than that.
And I made 3-4 records with Nash, and I still keep in contact with Nash a lot because we've got a lot in common. And I do believe that their lifestyle was one of those things that just made them who they were and brought them to this point in their lives, I think, because of their experiences. And those campfire things, when they were getting ready to settle in for the night and you're cooking over an open fire, and not everyone does get to experience that, but it does open your mind up to the world when you're a child. You look up there, and I'd be sitting with my grandparents, for instance, or my mum, and I'd think to myself, well, this is pretty normal to me. I guess everyone does this. Well, no, they don't.
They don't. Did you do that with your kids?
Yeah, I did. We had a farm that we did it regularly, and they spent a lot of time building the fire, getting the firewood, doing all the things supposed to do. Then I'd take them down to my late mum's property, and I would show them how to get witchetty grubs out of the trees. We'd do all these things that I was taught, how to get bush yams, all the things that I thought were important, and they'd all come back with their little pieces of paper bark with their offerings. because they'd look for the flowers. I told them what flowers to look for. They were the ones that led you down to the little yams, and we called them a bush carrot. And all these things they thought were normal. And my son would come back from holidays down at my mum's place and show his friends the photos of him holding all these jubbles, these widgety grubs, and they would all go, "Ugh, you going to eat that?" And he said, "We did eat that."
But did you feel like a great parent doing that too? Because not only has it been great for your career, it's given you the soul and the person that you are, but it's also great parenting, I think.
Look, everyone has their shortfalls as parents. Laurel and I came from really different backgrounds. Her family were really. She had a father and a grandfather that played for Australia in rugby league. They were real sporty sort of mob and incredibly hard-working blue-collar people. And I came from the blue-collar thing, but the Indigenous thing was different. So we met in the middle. Sitting there last night, Leith, talking to my 27-year-old son, who's just had his heart broken, by the way. He's singing me songs that he's written in the last 2 weeks. And he's got about 15 stocked up of these things that I've never even realised he was writing. And here he is playing me these songs. To me, good parenting is when you get these songs back as a reflection of what you might have given him as a little musician.
Yes.
And it's coming back to you in this way. I sat there and I wanted to cry. I really did want to cry.
Heartbreak can do that. It can give you content.
Do it. And I said to him, "Mate, you've got plenty of things to draw on here."
Taylor Swift has made a career from it. So
hey, that's right.
You never know. People don't appreciate, I don't think, at least. I mean, we know how great your voice is. You're a great guitarist. You're here for the Guitar Festival. Do you think people underestimate how good you are on the guitar, or it doesn't matter to you?
Look, it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I know that I've been passionate about guitar all my life since I started playing. And when people say to me, how did you start playing? I started playing a finger-picking style, and all I wanted to be was Phil or Tommy Emmanuel.
Yes, no.
And so I would sort of sit in front of the mirror after being to a Tommy or Phil show, and I'd be... So I love it.
Beautiful.
And I want to put a bit of that in the show tomorrow night. And I think that's important to me as well, as much as being a singer and songwriter. I only ever wanted to start out being a guitar player.
Yep. How good are they, by the way? I saw Tommy Emmanuel do Day Tripper and Lady Madonna at the same time on the guitar. Like, I love Stevie's blues, classical jazz, everything that he does.
Yes.
Is just phenomenal.
Look, I have to say I was brainwashed from the first show.
Yep.
When I saw them both together, unfortunately we've lost Phil, but when I had a chance, I moved to America with the kids and with Laurel for about 6 months, but I did 1 month on the road with Tommy. Tommy said, "Do you want to see America?" And I said, "Yeah, I would." He said, "You want to see it by road?" And I said, "Even better." And every morning, Tommy would come in with a coffee in his dressing gown, with his guitar, and show me something he'd been working on that night. His brain did not stop. But Leith, he blew my mind. And every night I watched him play from side of stage before I'd go on and guest on a song. He would play the same songs, but he never repeated himself. That's a great guitar player.
He's amazing. The Journey album is extraordinary. Tommy Emmanuel. The great Troy Casadale is my guest. We're talking about Tommy Emmanuel tomorrow night at the Match. Can I take a quick break? Because you're going to play a song for us. I want to talk about Nancy Bates too, who's going to be performing with you tomorrow, but all part of the Guitar Festival. As I say, Her Majesty, there are some tickets available now. I know you're up against the Crows.
I know.
Don't worry about that.
I was sort of more worried. I know it's a big football town. I understand how AFL works.
Don't worry about that.
But I thought to myself, well, if you can't get tickets, you've got to come along and just sit in with us. It's going to be beautiful.
Her Majesty's last tickets available, so do not mess around. Troy Casadale will find out all about Nancy Bates and this show tomorrow night. And because you can see it on the live stream for Complete Care, we'll get the legend to play us a tune if we can. Guitar Festival, 21 minutes after 3. Back with more. Troy Casadale next.
The NDIS does more than support individuals with disabilities. It paves the way for extraordinary people to thrive. FIVEAA puts the spotlight on great companies like Local Kitchen Co. They're an NDIS-approved provider who supplies nutritious, affordable home-style meals delivered straight to your door. Every meal is thoughtfully planned and made with fresh local ingredients. Search Local Kitchen Co. and order today. Keep listening for more great NDIS companies changing lives across SA on Adelaide's FIVEAA.
The International Space Station, caught in a perpetual freefall. This outpost of human ingenuity is perfectly angled to witness Aldi's ride-on Aston Martin F1 go-kart for $199. With a 12-volt battery and multiple speeds. It's special you can buy at the Aldi Finds sale this Saturday.
Houston, we have go-kart.
Aldi. Good different.
The siren's sounding. Eblin Subaru's footy final frenzy sale is on now. Kick a winning deal with 3 years free servicing across the Subaru Outback range. The all-new Forrester has hit the field. Book your test drive today with demos ready for immediate delivery. And the big score? Trade in your car and pocket a $1,000 bonus on new, used and demo vehicles. But the clock's ticking. Don't miss your shot. Race into Eblin Subaru, Adelaide's #1 Subaru dealer. MPD 173.
How far would you go for your dream kitchen? And how far would you go to get 25% off? How about 15 minutes up the freeway to Balhanna Kitchens by Design? 2, the largest showroom in the Adelaide Hills. Custom build your dream with our award-winning designers. And get 25% off your cabinets with laminate bench tops. For a limited time, of course. Balhanna Kitchens by Design. It's not too far to go to make your dream a reality. balhannakitchens.com.au.
When you're helping a business and you want to help people becoming a business, people start to feel like they're just mere numbers. ADL Support Services, though, people always come first. The founder and director, Lisa Rivers, she found her purpose. She built a family-run team that genuinely cares. They are a team that believes in finding joy in the ordinary. The ADL Support Service is not about just providing support, it's about how they provide it. As Lisa was saying, they find great staff. They train those great staff, they nurture the staff, and then, best of all, they keep them. So continuity and trust, because that really matters. The people who support you today will be the people who support you tomorrow. If you or someone you love has a current NDIS plan or you're living with a disability, talk to ADL Support Services. adlsupportservices.com.au.
Hey, it's Lauren here from Adelaide. Wouldn't you love a reward just for shopping at your local Star Discount Chemist? Become a Superstar Rewards member to earn points, receive birthday vouchers and more. Star Discount Chemist. How can we help? Earn and redeem points on eligible purchases. Visit website for full terms and conditions.
They say one of life's biggest decisions is buying a home. But sometimes the hardest one is leaving it. At Anglicare SA, we're here to help you stay where you belong, at home. We offer support for everyday things like cleaning, gardening, cooking, but are also experts in care management, allied health, and clinical nursing. Because we believe there's no place like home. Let us help you stay where your heart is. Find out more at Anglicare SA. You are at home.
5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
We are spoilt. We are blessed. The great Troy Casadale is here. He is performing tomorrow night at Her Majesty's as part of the Adelaide Guitar Festival with a very special guest in Nancy Bates. Well, can you tell us about Nancy Bates?
Well, I met Nancy out at Port Augusta. And we had about 2 hours in the room with her, my manager and I, where she told us her story. And it was just beautiful. And she did a song in the middle of a little yarn she was having with us as well. And I thought, now, I think when someone has a story like that, it's so well worth sharing. And I think that's what she'll bring to the show tomorrow night.
So she'll be there. She'll be performing special album launch too, I
That's
believe.
right. She's got a special album launch. And I think there's also some depth in what she does that you just don't see in a lot of artists. So it's going to be beautiful that she's sharing the stage with us as well.
So it's singing,
songwriting, storytelling.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
And guitar playing. Of course, there's going to be some indulgent solos from me. I don't know how Nancy's going to go with that, but there's going to be a few extended solos.
What were you listening and playing guitar-wise when you first started? Are you a Stairway to Heaven guy? How did you learn? Were you AC/DC? What was the...
Yeah, well, guitars were really interesting for me because I started listening to some really traditional country music first.
Yes.
And then I was trying to emulate Slim.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like... that sort of thing.
Such a great sound, isn't it?
And it was a sound, you're right. But then I got into, the Eagles and Creedence, and someone who I really loved was John Fogerty.
Oh, yeah.
Because John Fogerty, to me, played guitar like a singer. And I hadn't really heard that. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jimmy Page doesn't sing.
Yes.
He's a guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'd see Hendrix. he would phrase like a singer. And I love that. So John Fogerty was a big one for me, and then I got into the Eagles and stuff like that. That was more the path I trod because it was sort of bordering on the country thing all the way for me. And that was a really big... And I must say thank you to my uncles and aunties, the younger ones who are not much older than me, who gave me a loan of their vinyl records, Leith. And I got to scab all these beautiful Creedence Clearwater things, and I've still got them in my collection with their names written on them, you know?
Fortunate son. Just one or two little notes of...
Oh, what about Green River, you know?
Yep.
Ian Moss and I, we'd sit there and we go... So when you're doing things like that, you're influenced heavily. But then you'd hear, you know, the Eagles when they'd start strumming, and it was like... when you're doing things like Tequila Sunrise, that was a great influence on me as well, because they were musicians that I would class as West Coast American country.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So it really dragged me in, Leith.
Are you a slide guy? You know, Uncle Bill Chambers plays. He just grabs a beer bottle out of the crowd, and just starts sliding away. I love the slide.
I used to play a bit of slide when I was trying to emulate my favourite bands and people like Kirk LaRange. Yeah. And but I haven't played it for a while, and recently I've gotten out like an old National guitar at home and did a bit of slide on it the other day, and I think it's going to open up a few more little idea doors for me because I haven't played it for a while. So it'll be good.
It was always funny in metalwork at school, at high school. Kids would just make slides.
You turn them up on a lathe.
Correct.
And perfect for it. And Laurie Minson, a fella from Tamworth, had turned me up maybe 2 or 3 that I still have, and they're beautiful. They're made out of brass, and they're an incredible tone. So when I start to write for the next record, I reckon it's going to be interesting to be putting that on my little finger again.
Yep.
But Bill, your Uncle Bill, goodness me, what
he just walks into the crowd, grabs a random stubby,
that's it,
has a little swig.
I love it.
And then goes, watch it.
Yeah, he's so good.
He is so good. It's so much fun.
Such a talent.
As are you. You know what? It's the nicest genre of music. There's not a bad country music star in the country. Like, there's no bad eggs, and you're one of the best, if not the best.
No, thank you.
I'll say one of, just in case I get Lee on again. But you too, and there's so many great... This is why we want people to go and see you tomorrow night. Those who aren't going to the footy, it's sold out. Don't worry about that. You want to see yourself and Nancy on stage, the beautiful Her Majesty's Theatre.
Oh, look, it's going to be a wonderful night. I love the theatre. I've played there a couple of times over the years, and I really look forward to being able to share where we've been for the last few years, because it's been a really interesting ride. A lot of people come up to me and talk about the last record that I had out and how it helped them deal with grief. Losing your parents is a big deal, Leith.
Yep.
And anyone listening that's lost a parent recently or even 10 years ago, they know it's a big tree to fall in the forest of life, you know. It really is. So I'll play you a little song.
Please do. Thank you so much.
Obviously I'll dedicate to people who've lost folks like that. And it's called Some Days.
You're a legend. Troy Casadali, check it out on the Complete Care live stream. Listen to this, folks.
Some days are better than others. Some days I miss my mother. Some years make me feel like I've lived 10. We get through the Christmas cheer and think of who we lost that year, and the whole damn thing rolls round again. I look in the mirror and all I see is my old man staring back at me every day. 'Cause every time I speak out loud, I only try to make him proud. I think I know just what he'd say. He'd say, some days are better than others. Some friends I see as brothers. Some days you need to talk to other men. If you worry about what people say, you're gonna worry your life away, son. It just ain't worth it in the end. No.
Well, I'm in the ring, bitter tears like punches sting, and laid me lower than I've ever been before. I swerve and weave and get back up. I must remember how to duck when trouble comes a-knocking at my door. Step by step, I'm still learning. I won't stop till the day I die. Well, I know my spirit is returning, but for a while there I didn't want to try, 'cause some days are better than others. Some days I really miss my mother. She made me the man I am. If you worry about what people say, you're gonna worry your life away. It just ain't worth it in the end. Some days are better than others, my friends.
God, what a talent you are.
Oh, thank you very much,
Holy
Leith.
moly.
That goes out to beautiful Adelaide. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, as well.
Gosh, that is the best way to sell tickets right there.
Oh, no, thank you. Just like I say, we've got a lot of stories, and that was another story. You know, we all have our own ones to tell, and I'm looking forward to sharing some really beautiful personal things with everyone tomorrow.
God, you're a legend. Thank you for sharing that with us. That was amazing.
Lovely to see you.
The great Troy Cassadaly, Nancy Bates, tomorrow at Her Majesty's Theatre. Tickets are available at Ticketek. Last tickets, folks. Part of the Guitar Festival. Go and see one of the absolute all-time greats. That's just a little tease. Imagine the whole night of that. I may not let him out, I'll be honest. Troy Cassadaly, thank you again. That was extraordinary.
Mate. Cheers, mate.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. It's feared the assassination of a political activist in the US will spark further unrest. The Premier's met with the King while in London. A man's been arrested over a spate of bottle shop robberies at Newton and Firle. And Jack Ginnivan was the centre of attention when the Hawks flew into Adelaide Airport. Partly cloudy and 16, at the moment 15. More news at 4 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
When you're a kid, every day is an adventure. And healthy, curious kids are built on Biltong by Najobi. Deliciously air-dried SA-made beef strips. Najobi Biltong fills them up because it's high in protein and it fuels their day with long-lasting energy. And when we can make it pick up their dirty clothes, we'll let you know. It's perfect for lunch boxes, after-school snacks or to take to sports practice. Fill them up and fuel their day with Najobi Biltong in supermarkets, service stations or at najobi.com.au.
The Honda Spring Showcase event is here. Buy any Honda SUV now and get 5 free services plus a Honda-powered 36-volt domestic lawn and garden pack worth over $2,000. Ends September 15. Terms and conditions apply. See your Honda dealer.
Unique, loyal, fun-loving. That's what we look for in our pals. When you're next spending time with your best friends, don't forget some of the best pals you can have. Parafield Airport Liquor Store has your everyday favourites right through to those hard-to-find products. That's what great pals do. Sam and Jamie from Parafield Airport Liquor Store know every drop on the shelf, so you can always rely on their advice. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Pals. Next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell & O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell & O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell & O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family-owned and operated, because it's personal.
A new elevated shopping experience awaits at Burnside Village with a 2-story Mecca flagship store, Coco Republic, JB Hi-Fi, Uniqlo, Style Runner, Kavari, July and much more. Burnside Village, fashion, dining, lifestyle. BurnsideVillage.com.au.
Well, spring means sneezing time. Star Discount Chemists are here with hay fever and allergy relief this season, plus the catalogue specials. They've got all the best-selling brands, which means that you can land some great prices at the same time. Your friendly Star pharmacist is there to answer any of your questions. They'll support you with trusted advice. We're talking over 20 Star Discount Chemists right across Adelaide. There is one near you ready to provide expert care. You can shop in-store or online with click and collect delivery. Star Discount Chemists, convenient, rewarding and always great value.
3, 4... Oh, I'm practicing mindfulness by counting my 10 original tenders. That's 10 little wins for $10 little. In a piece has never been this affordable. KFC, FLG, not everywhere, not forever, pick up only.
Always live. 5AA. Always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
So Why Do Birds Sing? This is the new book from Dr. Grania Cleary, the lady who is responsible for making the people of Australia love birds even more than we did before. Grania, lovely to see you. Welcome to the... It is the follow-up from your book, Why Do Birds Do That? And it makes sense, Grania. We all want to know why birds sing. I'm guessing while we might think it's a simple answer, chances are it's probably a bit more complex.
It is, and that's one of the things I found out while researching this book. So when we think about birdsong, most of the research happened in the UK, happened in Northern America. And in these areas, that's where the male is the singer. The male sings in spring to mark his territory and attract the female. The female listens, she chooses a man and settles down and lays the eggs. But then you come to Australia and you have female song, and female song is very important. So for a long time, so that turned the whole thing on its head, because for a long time we were saying, no, it's just the males, females lost that song. No, they seem to have lost it once they left Australia. But the ancestral bird, the ancestral songbird, the female sang, and we see that still in our Australian birds.
Right, so the angelic voice of the female Australian bird. Changing history, changing science. We take it for granted, don't we? Because it's the natural soundtrack to our lives, the natural soundtrack to nature. But then you look at the influence that bird singing has in history and in art, etc.
Exactly. It's always been around us. It is kind of the melody to our lives. And it can make us feel so much more relaxed when you wake up first thing in the morning and you're hearing that song, or you're hearing the butcher bird or the magpies caroling. It kind of just puts you on a good footing compared to, you know, hearing the dustman, the lorry drivers, the backfiring of a car. It just really just chills us out, connects us back to nature.
I'm sure people ask you all the time, are you able to determine, are they singing to us? Are they singing to others? Is it a combination?
So there's usually singing to others. So we have song that's a performance. It's when they're marking their territory. So when you have a group of magpies and they're all caroling together, that's to show group cohesence. We're all together, and also to mark that territory. And then doing that for listening magpies, other territorial holding magpies. So they know, don't come into my territory. We're still here. So they do it. That song, but we also have call, and calls are those little chirps that the birds do to each other to communicate just between them, and they're more subtle and more like our conversations.
Because I'll be walking the dogs, Grenier, and I'll hear the minor birds talk to each other, almost like, here he comes, get ready, swoop him now. But then there'll be other times when the dogs and I'll be walking through an area full of trees, and we can actually talk back to the magpies. You say something and they'll repeat it back to you. So I wondered, are we talking to each other, or is it just a mimic of the sound?
So what you're doing is mimicking the sound. So birds like magpies are open-end learners, which means they add to their language, they add to their song, their vocabulary throughout their lives. It's why magpies will suddenly do a new call. So what you're doing there is you're calling, and because it's often done to mark territory, the singer needs to be more competitive than you, needs to be a better singer. So he'll call back to you and sometimes even repeat what you've said to try to do it better. And if you keep going, he might even come down to see, is this another songbird or who's this? And then he sees yourself and your dog. He's like, that's not a bloody bird.
So it's like me singing to Andrea Bocelli and he's singing back to me going, you're not even close. Like, I'll show you how to do it. Wow.
There you go.
Is bird language like our language, Granier? Is it all about tone and communication and volume? Does it change in pitch and tone?
So exactly, it does. So birds seem to listen for the rhythm of the speech. So the way us Irish speak, we speak very rapidly, very fast. And then you'll have other people that will speak slower. So birds listen for the changes in the rhythm of the calls, because that will give information about what the bird is trying to say. Is the bird happy? Is it looking for food? Is it hungry? Has it seen a predator? So they very much listen for that, which I find amazing.
They're so smart. And now I wonder too, you have all these competitions where people mimic the sound of birds. You have turkey calling competitions, other type of bird calling. They must just sit back and think we're idiots, Granier. Like, what is it? This is just an awful impression of what we do.
I would like to think they look at us and go, those bloody human brains, they know nothing, not even close to what we actually sound like.
How do you discover this? How is it the research done? Do they just watch and learn? How do we know this science?
So the big bird is our very own humble zebrafinch. The zebrafinch, the male is the singer. He'll sing, learn the song from the father. The female listens. So a lot of research has been done on the zebrafinch, and they'll do it in laboratories where they'll have like a zebrafinch, and they'll have the male and they'll have the baby, and they'll watch the interaction and watch how the young learns the song. Or they'll take a zebrafinch egg and raise it in isolation, and then try to determine whether or not the bird can sing. So it's done a lot in laboratories with our very own zebrafinch.
Wow. So it's almost like the Shazam of bird sounds. You scientists, you get your phones up and you just go, what is this song? Ah, that's what song it is. That's amazing.
Exactly. It is, yeah.
Just amazing. Do you have a favourite bird, Granier, and a favourite bird sound, like a song or a warble or something?
Oh, yeah. So for me, it was definitely the magpie. So when I was writing this book, as you'll see, I got really, really nerdy. Why I started simple enough, why do birds sing? Once okay, so they learn their song the way we learn to speak. Babies learn the same way. But what happens if the baby doesn't have a parent, or does the baby does a young songbird need to sleep well after learning the song? Does it learn it better? And how does it remember it? And does it have a good memory? And does sleep impact its memory? Because we think how important sleep is to us. Is it the same for learning and songbirds? And it was. So I'd be going around writing all this. I'm like, is anyone really interested in this? Does anyone care this much about song development? Does anyone care? And I'd go around the park for a walk and I'd hear the magpie. And I'd hear the magpie warbling. And when you've listened to a magpie warbling, it's at low amplitude, but there's a lot of variation in the pitch, a lot of variation from rendition to rendition. That's the bird practicing. It's not singing for performance, it's singing for itself. It's listening to its own voice and going, yeah, I'm a bloody good singer. Birds need to practice their song the way we practice our language. And when I would listen to that and I would see the magpie doing that, I'm like, hells yes, this is interesting. People need to know about this. Who knew magpies practiced? So that bird really got to me.
With your passion and your enthusiasm, we're always interested, Grania, anything that you have to say. But it's something that we take for granted. When you're out on a walk, it is a real comfort. I'm sure that humans feel that when you do hear that sound.
Oh, yeah. And then it can go the other way, like early in the morning when you hear a raven call and it's, on an old church building and you just feel like, oh, this is the set of a scary movie, ravens in graveyards. Or then you're out and you see the little fairy wrens chirping away and you feel much more relaxed. They really set the mood to our lives.
They do indeed. It's always lovely to speak. Your enthusiasm is infectious. I'd urge everyone to get the book, Why Do Birds Sing? Find out for yourself. Dr. Granier Cleary, it's an Allen and Unwin publication where you get all good bookstores. Now, always lovely to have you on, Granier. Thanks so much for your time and all the best with the book.
Thank you so much.
Andrew Lloyd Webber's legendary musical returns to Adelaide to celebrate its 40th Australian anniversary. This record-breaking sensation, loved by audiences of all ages, is at Her Majesty's Theatre from September.
Book now at catsthemusical.com.au and let the memory live again.
Hi, I'm Tom from 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We're a full-service junk removal company.
We come when it's convenient for you.
Not when it's convenient for us.
Send us a signal.
And we'll be there quickly in clean, shiny trucks.
And snappy, happy uniforms.
And we can almost always come the same day you book.
Point at anything you want gone from your life.
Gone.
So when you want junk to disappear, all you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.au.
Hey, it's Lauren here from Adelaide. And if you're like me and you love a good bargain from your local chemist, check out Star Discount Chemist. They're all about great value and helping your family stay healthy. Go in store or online for click and collect and delivery. Star Discount Chemist. How can we help?
Well, the wait is over. It is grand final time. The rivalries, the excitement, the heart-stopping action. We're talking about Service FM Stadium. Bring your family, your friends, your mates, your team colours. Be a part of the electric atmosphere. SA's top teams are fighting for glory in the RAA National Premier League Grand Final. Metro Stars haven't lost a match for 2 months, 8 weeks straight. They're looking at their first grand final win since 2012, but Croydon FC, they won't be easy to beat. They've had a huge comeback to end in third place, and now they want to win it all. Experience the passion of grassroots footy at its peak. Finals are where memories are made. You can find the full schedule, tickets and updates live at footballsa.com.au. Don't just hear about it, be there.
Go Harvey Norman Footy Finals. Invite all the fans to watch the big games with your new big screen TV. Buy now with hot deals on selected big brand TVs. Plus get bonus local delivery and installation. Take care of halftime drinks with a new fridge and get bonus local delivery. That's right, buy a selected fridge now at Harvey Norman and get bonus local delivery. Get set for the big games at Harvey Norman now. Best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions and exclusions apply.
At Holistic Care SA, we are focused on capacity building, not just care. We help people with disability gain the support, skills and confidence for independent living. Holistic Care SA helps our clients make sense of their NDIS plans, understand their options and connect with the right services, not just the available ones. For a friendly chat about supported independent living, visit holisticcaresa.com.au because everyone deserves the chance to become who they're meant to be.
5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
Scott Camporelli is here, or as they say in the classics, Campo-Reale, coming up with Stephen Rowe, the sports show from 4 o'clock. Campo, lovely to see you. See, I know you don't agree with me on this, but it was Rex.
It was Rex.
It was phonetically kind of a nickname he used at the time, and it's become...
Well, he pronounced it properly.
The norm.
He pronounced it properly.
Well, did you ever listen to that as a player? Would you guys ever talk about No?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, I mean, we never grew up with podcasts and, all those sort of things.
So you weren't aware of what he was talking about at the time?
Well, if we played a bad game, Leith, it was you didn't turn the TV on, you never read the Herald Sun, and you turned the radio off. So it was like one of those things that now, as soon as you get a bad one, it's on your phone instantly.
People are telling you straight away on social media.
And they all know.
Yeah, it's interesting though. As fans, we used to listen, and you almost thought, gee, as a player, you would want a nickname because otherwise you sort of go past, Fraser Brown.
Yeah.
You got the BROWN. Just any of those kind of things. That's what you want.
Yeah. Well, I used to work on the theory, Leith. If he's calling your name, it means you got the ball. So
That's
that was
true.
okay.
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, whatever way we pronounce it, we're delighted that you're back on the sports show today. What is on the big show, considering it's Crows Hawks Eve?
Well, it's team selection day. So we've got a little bit of Matthew Nix's audio, which is we'll get a bit of his press conference, and he's confirmed that Josh Rochelle will play. So only one change. So we don't know who the out is yet.
Okay. You'd be unlucky.
Thinking it might be Hugh Bond would be my tip. But
I always get in trouble for stealing all your good stuff in the 10 to 4 spot as opposed to after 4. So I don't want to dig deep too on this, but I'll be listening after 4 because it's the roll the dice time. It's either going to work and he'll be a genius, or everyone will say, mate, you rushed
it's always a
him
challenge, isn't it? I mean, we saw a little bit of a precursor last week with Max Michaelani coming out. He missed 5 weeks, and he probably was just a little bit off with the game tempo. And being a final, they only ramp up a bit more. So,
did you ever play a game where you said to the match committee and the coach, I'm good to go, and deep down you knew you probably weren't,
Absolutely.
but you didn't want to miss?
Absolutely.
You didn't want to miss.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you
That's
do.
human
But
nature, though, isn't it?
I guess, what you're capable of and what you're not capable of. And he's a player that needs, balance and twist and turn. And the knee is one of those ones that you just, can be a little bit wary of. Them and ankles, the type of player he is. But if they can get that sort of 50 to 60 entries, he'll still have a bit of a say up forward. And they probably missed a little bit of X factor up there last week.
Are you a follower of the FIVEAA socials? Are you a social kind of guy? You into the Instagram and the Twitter and all that?
Not really.
Okay. Because I've noticed a change.
Yes.
Their Stephen Rowe Twitter account / Instagram about a month ago was
lit off
celebration
I
time.
hear it every week when we call the games, Leith.
The last couple of days.
Back on.
Feeling nervous, not quite sure. My gut's telling me this. How's it going? Because not only are you an announcer today, but you're also kind of a counsellor.
Yeah, well,
you're going to have to get
I'm
him
always
through.
a counsellor with Rowie.
That's true.
And I can flip him pretty quickly normally.
Yeah.
But we have got one of the guys on today. We've got Fitzy coming on as a guest. And he rang in personally a few weeks ago and said, leave the lid on.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see what his take is on last week.
He's gone a little early on that. Before I let you out of here,
yes.
Apparently there was a Kardashian in Adelaide today.
Really?
Because there was more paparazzi at the airport than we've seen of recent times. It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
There was 6 to 10 cameras and journalists. So clearly Kim Kardashian's dropped in. Do we know? Is that the case? Or is someone else perhaps?
No, it was someone else who's probably not loved by the Crows fans, I would have thought, or Port fans, to be honest, this time last year. So anyway.
Got the plane out?
You live and die by the sword, Leith.
Are you embarrassed by that, though, or is that just me? Is that the younger generation?
I think it is what it is.
We're talking about Jack Ginnivan for those who haven't caught along. So, but it was a media throng. It was TMZ at the Adelaide airport for a footballer who himself was filming them.
On the flip back. Yeah. Oh, well, that's okay. He didn't say anything. He had the headset on. Business as usual.
In your time as a coach and a player, did you ever have a similar character?
We probably, the closest
Who was your
one,
extrovert? Fev?
No, it was Glenn Manton was probably
the
one.
Bolt.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and more so because he was on the footy show, on Channel 9's footy show.
Yep.
And, he used to get up to, some...
Do you think Sam Mitchell would like it? Would he be wanting him to rein it in?
I think there's a balance in all that, in terms of bringing added pressure. I mean, the game's hard enough as it is, but, some guys feed off that, so whatever works for them. But what you don't want to do is, make the other, say, 15 players uncomfortable in that environment. But he seems to handle it pretty well. So.
It's a very millennial thing. I had Jeff Kennett on the show earlier. He was talking about it, and he said, look, you see it with him, you see it with Bailey Smith, you see it with Harley Reid. Some people can do it.
Yep.
They invite that pressure. They want that spotlight.
Yep.
There's others who would just think, I don't want any part of that.
A famous old player of mine, a teammate of mine, said, don't ever stick your head up because sometimes it'll get kicked off. So maybe just... You got to be careful times.
Good
don't you,
advice. It's great for fans, though.
It is. It is. And, that's what sells. I mean, the build-up is going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing crowd. A lot of Adelaide people there that will be looking for redemption after last week. And input, it's knockout now. It's knockout. So there's no next week.
Do you reckon he's practiced a celebration? I guarantee he's practiced a celebration.
I guarantee.
Is there a Scott Camporelli celebration?
No,
Did you ever have one?
No, just back to the...
Do the boys have one? Have they got one in their kit bag just in case they ever...
They're not that type of player, and I'd be staggered if they did. But they'll probably get some reasonable feedback if they did do it.
I was about to say, would you? Because Rowie, I remember when Jimmy did it for the Crows. S. Rowe, Steamore Hicks was not happy.
Not happy.
No,
Yeah, well, we're old
I think he pulled out the eye from memory.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
I think he wasn't. Rowie not all that happy with that.
Let it go. That they can do whatever.
You're old school, you boys.
We are, unfortunately, or fortunately.
Excellent. Always lovely to have you, and thank you for coming in. Coming up very shortly, the Sports Show. Stephen Rowe, Scott Camporelli, or Camporelli, depending on which school. I'm from the, I'm a southerner, down south, country boy, public school.
That's okay.
I'm going with the old school. Apparently scabs aren't in either. Did you know we had a pharmacist in before? That's not good for you. So I'm learning all these things, see?
Okay.
You're teaching us. It's a learning moment.
I'll leave you with that.
Thank you. Scott, next. I'll just call him Scott. And Rowie, after this.
Adelaide's only local sports show. It's the very latest